Resurrected by Death, White Rabbit Games' upcoming 2D action RPG, Death's Gambit, sees you as a corpse-light knight tasked to slay the godlike immortals of a medieval, alien planet. If that isn't the most NES back-of-the-box hype text in 2015 already, the game dutifully follows in the legacy of challenging side-scrolling action games like Castlevania, with precise platforming, a focus on tactical combat, close-range stabs and slashes, paired with shield guarding, as well as ample use of dodging. The game unabashedly bleeds with the blood of its inspirations. The 2D Dark Souls-born pixel art game you've always wanted. It'd be a disservice to dismiss the game as yet another Metroidvania FromSoft-like, however. Titans towering over a treacherous tundra, a phoenix scorching the skies. It is the boss battles of Death's Gambit that are to die for. And die and die and die and die and... In the brief time I got to spend braving the non-linear world of Death's Gambit, I died from falling, from arrow impalement, sword slashes, from every morbid curiosity and more. Being Death's agent comes with perks though. When fighting immortals, you must become one. And every time you die in Death's Gambit, the Reaper swoops down and revives you at the nearest shrine. Checkpoint. That isn't to say there's no consequence to death in the game, however. In the game, every time you die, you lose a single Phoenix Bloom, your feathery means of healing in-game. But there's still hope yet, literally. Felling a foe in Death's Gambit nets you hope, the game's uplifting experience system, with which you can dole into stats and unlock abilities to deal death onto immortals, or die trying. If this all sounds like your standard Soulsvania fare, the hook mechanic of Death's Gambit is anything but. To take down some of the game's giant bosses, your hook shot lets you climb onto them, adding vertical depth to your Agent of Death, and some of the most breathtaking boss battles the game has to offer. Using the hookshot for platforming outside those battles, however, felt sticky, difficult to aim accurately, if not a tad delayed than what I expected, causing more than a few awkward stumbles with upper management. And while the bosses and levels are utterly breathtaking visually, the animation of the player character looks stiff during my preview, as if lacking a few frames or two when engaged in combat. Thankfully, none of these nitpicks significantly hamper the gameplay, and this is why you play Death's Gambit. With its emphasis on the tried and true triangle of combat, blocking, dodge rolling, Death's Gambit isn't so much a hard game as it is a challenging but fair one. When you die, it's deliberate. You know exactly how and why and learn from it. Even as my death count tallied higher and higher, when you finally beat one of the game's immortal bosses, only for them to spawn again even stronger, yes, they do come back, they are immortal. Death's Gambit is just as satisfying the first time killing a god as it is every time, and I can't wait to do it again and again when the game releases on PS4 and PC next year. But if you're dying to know more about Death's Gambit right now, watch our nearly hour-long interview with the game's lead designer, programmer, and combat warlock, John Cañellas, where we talk about the game's story, which anime inspired the hookshot, and how you go about killing an immortal. And for more on all things gaming, go to BioBat.com. It's what pays the bills. I mean, I don't get paid for this, but...